You recording, bud?
Yeah, I'm recording, bud. You playing
Fantastic.
Minecraft, bud?
Yeah. Oh, not very well.
Let's
Uh,
see here, make sure. Happy Tuesday / Friday. Welcome to the What Are My Options podcast. Kyle, I'm Trey. He
yep.
is Kyle. Kyle has
Yep.
been busy this week with various challenges. We've been doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I've been seeing movies. I've had a great week, which means it was not my week for options. Do we just want to get your week out of the way?
Screw you. Screw you. Screw these challenges. Oh my god.
I feel like I took a step down this week versus your previous challenges. I thought I was threading the needle. I thought I was almost being nicer than you were just to me recently. I did not intend for it to be that difficult, but just more annoying than anything.
There was, oh my god. There was Minecraft, there was Red One. What was the third one?
Just
Oh,
take
the
a
photo.
photo of somebody else watching the pod. Yeah.
That one was simple. Let me
Yeah,
let
I
me get
hope
this
you
photo
did
up real
that
quick.
one. I gave you at least a freebie.
So, all right, let me send this to your DM real quick. All right, so this is my good pal Ryan, the Deer Destroyer.
Ryan the Deer Destroyer. Okay.
Yep. And here he is complaining to me about the lack of Trey this episode. Really said really said that too much Kyle this episode. We need to renew the contracts. Not a big fan of it.
If people don't realize, last two episodes ago at this point, was the Oops All Kyle episode, which had mixed reviews. I thought it was really funny. Some people were worried about what happened to me. Some people thought you looked insane the entire time. I don't know if you actually checked it out at all.
It goes immediately from me talking about children smashing dogs with rocks to laughing because the story you tell in between gets cut out. So I look like an insane person.
Yeah, no, you look. I also love that I'm just in slow motion, just
Yep.
occasionally raising my hand and putting it down because I found the clip, or I had pre-recorded to I was like, maybe I'll fit in the rock, paper, scissors, but it wasn't working. But I just looped that segment in slow-mo to sit there and react to, and then I'd be like, hey, Kyle, this question is now. And then go back. Wife, that's the first podcast episode that my wife has skipped because she said I just look insane also, and it's unsettling. But we're beyond that. We're never going to forget to record ever again. Sorry about that, folks. We had a fun bonus Monday episode come out, which we filmed last week, and we got the challenges out. Though I think this might be the first week where I don't think actually no, I was gonna say a single audience member didn't do a single challenge, but now I'm opening the subreddit. Drago, who speedran and beat the Ender Dragon. Again, it didn't have to be a speedrun, but Drago beat Hardcore Minecraft. Carson beat Hardcore Minecraft. Drago also watched Red One and wrote a paper on it.
Carson hit me with the apologies. Got to edit down my hours of footage, and I'm like, it's like turning in a book report for school. It's like, oh God, I'll get it done.
Yeah, so you had 7 days to do what most people do in 2 to 3 hours with minimal setup. You can reset as many. I'll even add, you had mods on, which you were told specifically to just boot Minecraft, and you were like, hey guys, where's all those mod packs? You had a mini-map mod, you had shaders on which were crashing your stream and slowing it down and making it jittery. You had part of the shaders mod allowed it to where the torch in your hand was emitting light, so you never had to place torches.
It was a lot of performance mods, but then there was the map mod. Had to turn that off. The light mod, I was like,
I'll cut a couple clips in here for those of you that don't know. Teal was streaming his attempts late last night at the last minute, so I was watching the Eagles on my TV, and then on my phone I had Kyle pulled up, and wife just kept being like, what are you watching? And I was like, Kyle found a camel. He's supposed to be fighting the Ender Dragon. It's been 2 hours and he's staring at a camel right now.
I'll send you as many clips as I can. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it was very difficult. I feel like I was having a really good run. You tried with my seed at one point, but like I spawned right next to a village that had tons of food.
Oh yeah, I
Had a whole
tried with
bunch
your
of
seed, and I got to the Nether, I think, in 30 minutes, and then like 10 minutes after, I got the Bastion. There was a nice Nether fortress. Uh, yeah, I was trying to catch up, so I was like playing really fast and dying, but ultimately you were still in the overworld, so I wasn't behind necessarily.
I was building houses.
So to
I
tell the
was
audience, did you succeed or did you fail in this
No!
challenge? No?
No! I looked at a Slender Man and he kicked my ass. I didn't realize they kill you in 3 hits if they're aggro.
Oh, especially on hardcore, absolutely. They'll wreck your shit
They
all day, man.
on hardcore?
Huh?
They do more damage on
Yeah,
hardcore?
all the yeah, you take more damage on hardcore, you heal slower on hardcore. You don't respawn, which for some reason, even though you can't respawn in hardcore, you kept making beds and houses as if you'd ever have a reason to go back. You built 2 different houses at one point. You had a mine shaft going. You refused to kill the iron golem to get the only iron you needed, so you were just mining iron for a while.
Were people not joking about that? I assumed it would like rip me to shreds.
No, if you watched my corner, I built a 3-block high tower so he couldn't hit me, but I could hit him. That's what you do. So you kill.
Wild.
Yep.
I don't know anything about Minecraft. I kind of hate Minecraft.
I saw that.
Rage. But yeah, all I had to do was beat Minecraft, something that every 7-year-old that watches YouTube has done, and I could not do it. It was impossible.
Did you do better or worse than you expected? Because I assume you expected to fail. I have to think you expected that. But was your progress, where was it in your eyes?
The progress was basically overworld is like getting armor tools and building a portal, and then you get to the Nether, you find the secret items to unlock the end portal, and then you get to the end portal and you beat the final boss. I got to the Nether portion, and then, which is basically hell.
Yeah, it is hell.
It's fun hell for fun, and got my shit kicked in, and that's that. And that took 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you spawn in. You want to just, all you have to do is make a portal, grab some beds in a bucket that takes about 15-20 minutes. Then you're in the Nether. You want to get a ton of gold from a bastion, trade it with the piglins there. They give you ender pearls by the ton. Then you go to the Nether fortress. You kill 3 blaze, get the rods. You go back to the overworld. You combine the ender pearls and blaze rods. You throw them into the sky. They tell you where the end portal is. You find it. You kill the ender dragon. It's over. The current best speedrun is like 10 minutes. My current best time is like around 2 hours. Average beginner time is around 3 hours.
Oh my god. Anything can go wrong. Like, a monster can just walk up to you that explodes and instant kills you, and that's it.
Classic creeper.
I work with a professional. She's really good at Minecraft. She does Minecraft speedruns. She wanted to fake it and just green screen my head onto her face.
That would be... Is she just, like, staples a cutout of your face to her face?
She's like, you're going to have to explain your, boobs to him.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I don't think he would notice.
You could just frame the boobs out. The boobs don't have to be on screen.
They'd be in frame.
Oh, okay.
I would very much ensure. But yeah, she's like, I could speedrun it real fast for you. And I'm like, no, I have to try and do it. It can't be that hard.
Had I known that you would wait to the last minute and it would be that difficult just for you to into the Nether, I would have lowered the challenge in hindsight. I did not intend for it to be that difficult. I would have just said enter the Nether in less than 2 hours, and you still probably would have failed there, but because you did get a great starting scene. Like, the point of like beating Minecraft on hardcore is you're gonna have to reset a lot, but just you only played once and for almost 3 hours.
I played it very, very safe until I couldn't anymore. Everybody was placing bets that how long would I die after entering the Nether, so they all tricked me into going in without gold. And if you're not wearing gold in hell, everything attacks you. So I jump into gold, and like all the monsters turn and look at me. And then they all start just rushing me and attacking me, and everybody in my chat is clapping. They're like, "We did it! We're gonna win the bet!" And then I escape from hell, and I'm like, "Screw you guys! Nobody here is trying to help me. You are all actively trying to get me killed as fast as possible."
To be clear, I did bet against you in that bet to die within 5 minutes of entering the Nether. And two problems. In this speedrun, you do not waste time getting gold before you go in the Nether. You can get gold in the Nether. You just wall yourself in, you mine for 5 minutes, you've got gold, or you just kill the piglin because they're very easy to kill, but you immediately panic, you leave, which means the 5-minute timer's still going, so the 4.5 minutes, you're not even in the Nether, you're just mining underground very safely, and we just go, well, there goes 10,000 or whatever we've bet on it.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
So then how was Red 1, I guess?
Well, I wrote my report.
Uh-huh.
And, if you like, I could speed read this report. My literal book report of this film. And, whether or not you keep it in or just do a highlight, it's not that long.
Okay.
This isn't a long, but it is my summary of the movie.
So when did you watch it?
We watched this last night at about 12:30 a.m.
Okay, very cool.
So about midnight.
Yep, so you go through all the pain of Minecraft, and then you're like, all right, time to watch Red 1 now. Okay, yeah, let's go through your book report.
Yeah, all right, okay, all right, here we go. Red 1, for those who don't know, is a recent Christmas movie. And not one I recommend watching for the holidays. Here's my book report of Red 1. In Red 1, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson plays an elf that can shrink and grow like Ant-Man. He says quotes like, "The North Pole has fallen," without any sense of irony. In one scene, an ice cream truck drives out of the ocean and giant killer snowmen jump out. The Rock looks into the camera and says, "Snowmen," to let the audience who are looking at their phones know what is going on. He kills them by ripping their carrot noses off. Before this movie came out, Dwayne was interviewed. He says he went to see Oppenheimer on giant IMAX screens, and he tells the interviewer, and I quote, "I watch Oppenheimer. It was amazing, but I was thinking, holy shit, Red 1 on this screen and with this technology could be game over. I texted the director a picture of my bare chest and a picture of the screen, and we realized how cool IMAX would be." So I watched Red 1 in a Discord call with 7 other people around midnight on a Monday. Every scene looks like a Michael Bay Transformers clip or an AI-generated car commercial. Everything is devoid of color and filmed in front of a green screen. It's like a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie for Christmas fans. All right, quick summary of the plot here.
Okay.
The film opens with the child telling his friend Santa isn't real because the kid has a special talent that he can find anyone. Another kid asks, "Then why can't you find your dad?" Cut to 30 years later, the child is now Captain America. We see him commit arson and literally steal candy from a baby. He breaks into the government and steals their tracking data so that the bad guys can track Santa Claus. Oh my God. The real Santa is played by, who's J. Jonah Jameson?
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons. He's the best character in the movie, and he's asleep for 95% of it because he gets sucked. There's a big, sexy polar bear guy. We see The Rock as the bodyguard elf, and he beats up a live streamer named Beef Stew. The Rock wants to quit because he says solemnly, this is the first year that there's more people on the naughty list than the nice list. A group of bad guys kidnap Santa from the North Pole, and it plays out literally like the Superman movie where they're looking for Superman's house, but with the North Pole. The Rock hires internet trolls who are literally trolls to search online to find Santa. The Mythological Oversight and Restoration Authority is an organization that captures mythical monsters, and they track down Captain America to help him track Santa Claus. Captain America's wife is the waitress from It's Always Sunny.
Wait,
and his
so
son
all
hates
of this has happened, and only just now is Chris Evans on the good team with Dwayne Johnson, which is all the trailers have shown.
Yes.
Is it okay? I'm just double checking. I was like, at what point does Chris Evans do the thing that the movie is supposed to be doing?
They established that Chris Evans' character like tracks people so that they can get like assassinated.
Okay.
And then he gets paid, and that he's a dirtbag. But now he's got to find Santa Claus. Ugh. So The Rock doesn't want to work with him because they established that Captain America is a level 4 naughty lister.
Out of how many levels?
I assume like 5.
Okay.
There's like 5 tiers of naughty lister. That being said, though, the funniest thing is that this movie is constantly referring to the list.
Okay.
So
the Epstein list?
Exactly. The whole movie, they're saying things like, he's on the list. Is he on the list? Release the list. And I just like to imagine that Santa has the Epstein list.
If you're a level 4 naughty list, you're probably also on the Epstein list, I would have to think.
He's on the naughty list. He was at the North Pole. So the villain is a blonde woman, and she's sucking Santa Claus of his Santa Claus powers. The Rock and Cap go looking for the Death Mercs. They have a key that connects every toy store in the world. They can turn toys into real things, like they turn a Hot Wheel into a giant car. Captain America makes a joke that he wants to turn a Wonder Woman doll into a sex doll. Classic family hijinks. They go to Mexico and beat up a bunch of people. The villain is a Christmas witch named Grilla, which is the real life Christmas witch, Grilla, but every time they say her name, it sounds like gorilla. So it just sounds like there's an evil gorilla. And she wants to punish everybody on the Epstein list by trapping them in a magical snow globe.
So she's doing the same thing Santa's doing, it's just instead of coal, she wants to trap the naughty listers.
Yes.
Okay.
She then says that anybody who's ever told a lie, been late, jaywalked, done anything bad is a naughty lister in her eyes.
Okay.
So pretty much everybody's going to be in the snow globe.
Yeah.
Turns out the Epstein list. The Epstein list was made by Krampus, who is Santa's brother.
RFK Jr.?
And they got to go have a face slapping competition with him. The Rock says, I was one day from retirement.
They always are.
Then Captain America and his stupid son who hates him and is grown up to be a bad kid, they both get trapped in evil snow globes. However, they're able to break free by being nice to each other and learning from their mistakes and promising to be good. So if you're good, it breaks the snow globe. So if you murder 20 people and you're in a snow globe and you're like, I feel kind of
Santa forgives you.
Santa forgives you and you get freed from the snow globe. So it's real easy to get off the naughty list. Then they have this whole thing where like the North Pole has fallen, and they figure this out because The Rock calls Mrs. Claus, and she's like, I'm baking macaroons for Santa when he gets back. And The Rock looks at the camera, and he's like, Santa hates macaroons. The North Pole has fallen. And everybody was yelling at me because I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Macaroons are shit. And they're like, no, they're not. And I'm like, yeah, they are. Nobody likes macaroons.
That's crazy.
Awful, awful ass cookie. Everybody reunites, and they kill Gorilla. And then she turns into a giant ogre, and then Krampus shows up and kicks her ass, and then the reindeer show up and kick her ass, and then they trap her in a snow globe, and then they have a happy reunion. The dad and the son learn the magic of Christmas, and they'll be good. And The Rock is like, if Captain America can be good, then anybody can be good, and he decides to not retire. And then a Mariah Carey. Anybody could be good. Anybody on the Epstein list. Then the movie ends, and I'm like, it's a Christmas miracle that the movie ended.
Okay.
I'm just glad the movie ended. That was my takeaway from Red One. I'll send you a bunch of screenshots I took of Red One that you can throw up at opportune moments. The movie looks awful.
Yeah, it sounds like it, and yeah, to imply that anybody can be good is similar to one of my other least favorite tropes is like, for some reason in the Transformers universe, after 8 movies, they were like, oh, by the way, the Holocaust happened in this universe, and some of the Autobots helped Hitler. It's like, we don't need to bring that into this. Ant-Man did the same thing. They were like, by the way, the Holocaust happened in Ant-Man. And I want movies to stop doing that. We can just ignore the real world atrocities.
I can understand real life events happening in fiction. What do you mean some of the Autobots helped Hitler?
Do you not know this?
No!
Yeah. They were like, Mercedes wasn't actually helping the Nazis. They were just Decepticons that were helping the Nazis. And the Autobots didn't want to get involved in human issues. So that's why the Holocaust got so bad, because the Autobots didn't... I'm dead serious. This is, hold on. Let me double check. Because I've watched all the movies recently again. Hold on. Holocaust Transformers. Okay. The inventor of Transformers was a Holocaust survivor. Separately, there is a Transformer called Holocaust. I don't know what side he is on, however. Okay.
You don't know what side Holocaust is on?
I just don't want to make us.
So, you don't want to take a guess which side Holocaust, the giant robot, team he might be fighting for?
So it would seem that the Transformers have been tied to the Holocaust since the very beginning. So I guess when they introduce it in the movies, it's not that crazy. I guess they've always been vital. Interesting. I didn't know that. I just knew
Transformers lore is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. They'd be killing. Oh yeah. The Transformers: The Last Knight caused controversy by depicting Winston Churchill's home as a Nazi headquarters, with Michael Bay defending it by saying Churchill was a hero in the film, though the scenes involved Nazi imagery during World War II filming. The Transformers franchise focused on alien robots, but this specific film focuses on historical World War II elements with Nazi aesthetics for dramatic effect, not as a Holocaust story. So he's saying there's no Holocaust in the Transformers, but there is Nazis. Who knows what they're up to in the background? We don't want to say.
What are the Nazis fighting for in the Transformers universe? They just
don't. There may not be a Holocaust in the universe, but there is Nazis.
Okay. Maybe in this universe they just really hate Australians. Anything's possible.
Anyway, so yeah, there's in Final Destination 3, I recently I love watching franchises just beginning in. In Final Destination 3, they imply that 9/11 was a part of the plot of Final Destination 1. Because the kids got off that plane, 9/11 happened. And this movie came out 3 years after. Then there's another one where they pull out and they're like, Abe Lincoln was only shot. Look, there's this cracked photo. It's a sign from the psychic at that time, but they couldn't stop John Wilkes Booth in time, so death came for Abe Lincoln because he didn't get on the carriage that one time.
That's the funniest stuff in the world, though, is to try and connect your plot to historical events.
I don't know why movie makers want to do it. Stop it. It's so bad. It's so uncalled for and problematic. I think it should be illegal to take.
The more recent it is, the funnier it is.
Oh, you mean like in the new? You know what movie you're gonna bring up here?
Which one?
The one with Ice Cube, where they used real-world footage from the current Russian-Ukraine war.
Oh, War
in
of the
their
World?
movie, yeah.
Yeah.
They used real war footage of like planes being shot down and people being taken hostage as the footage in their movie, and then they just CGI in the aliens doing the atrocities instead of humans.
Yeah. It's like you can make a Titanic movie and everybody's just like, I don't remember the Titanic, that's fine, but how long before we get like a big budget cinematic Titanic 9/11 movie?
I mean, we do, and I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with selling Hasbro toys with 9/11. That's my issue. There's tons of high budget 9/11 movies. Like,
do you think they were selling Titanic merch?
Yes.
Titanic Happy Meal toys?
If you go to the Titanic Museum right now, you can buy pieces of the boat.
Well, I mean, Titanic and 9/11 McDonald's.
No, yeah, when the movie released, they absolutely had tie-ins, I bet. There's the Titanic Monopoly game, the Titanic the movie, the board game. There's tons of Titanic the movie merchandise. There was Deepwater Horizon, the oil spill that killed like 15 oil drillers and millions of wildlife. They dropped the movie about that 2 years after. They immediately started developing the film. That great movie, by the way. But yeah, there's tons of high-budget films about 9/11.
What's that one movie with Robert Pattinson where the entire movie is a normal movie, and then at the very end he's like gonna confess his love or something, and they show him calling the girl at the top of a building, and then he hangs up, and then it zooms out really slowly, and it's the Twin Towers, and then a little time pops up that says 9/11, and then it cuts to credits. You're like, oh no, 9/11.
That's crazy.
I don't know what movie that was, but that's the best ending I've ever seen.
See, yeah, that's another just very problematic thing to do. There's another 9/11 movie. This one came out like 4 years later, where there's bad guys trying to heist during 9/11, and they get stopped in the elevator by some good Samaritans. And again, just not a real thing that was happening. And so just to add that, like, by the way, also on 9/11, this was happening.
9/11 heist is the most insane sentence I've ever heard in my entire life.
Put in the comments, what is your favorite movie where they tried to leaven an atrocity? There's so many. The Chilean miners one, that got made a couple years right after it happened. God. Yeah, what's the most recent tragedy? Is that a crazy question? I feel like there's only a wrong answer to that, because somebody will be like, no, there was this. Let's not answer that question. How do we get out of this? We're just talking about 9/11 and Holocaust movies, right?
I love watching so many movies recently where like they're modern. There was a period in like 2023 and 2024 where it would be a modern movie, but they would establish early on that it took place in like 2018 or 19 just to work around COVID.
Oh yeah. That's like what Vince Gilligan does with Breaking Bad, because now with smartphones you can track everyone and like talk. Like, you can't do a meth lab now, so he had everything in like the mid 2000s. Final Destination did that brilliantly. Minor spoiler if you love the Final Destination movies. I think they're pretty bad. In Final Destination 5, you watch the whole movie with the assumption that the previous 4 movies have already happened. It's set wonderfully. It's shot modernly. It's the best movie in the franchise, I think. And then at the end, he pulls out, you realize nobody's used a cell phone all movie, and he pulls out his flip phone, and you're like, what? That's weird. It's 2015. And he goes, hey, Mom, I'm about to get on the flight number, blah, 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 and it's the one from the first movie, and this movie's actually a prequel to the franchise, and it's one of, like, the best movie twists of all time, because they perfectly, like, CGI this new cast onto the plane. It's like you just never noticed them in the first movie plane, and it's awesome. Oh my God. Love that movie. I think it's one of the most brilliant things a movie has ever done, is just you assume it's modern, and they're like, oh, by the way, this is the 1990s. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. We are now 10-10, by the way. Got a little off topic there. Kyle and me are both tied at 10. He got 2 points today. One for the photo, one for the having to watch Red 1. So, Kyle, I ask you on this fine day. Hopefully you've prepared. I assume you've been angry this week. So, what are my options?
I have 3. I'm trying to remember what my second one was, but they are all Grinch themed challenges.
I'm not excited about this. I'm not excited about this.
Why not Grinch it up?
I want to share where I think this is going, but I'm scared to give you a really good idea. So I'm going to shut up until the options have been listed.
I'd love to hear your idea.
Nope, I will not share my.
What do you think your idea is? I want to hear it.
I can only refer to people as who until next podcast recording, including you who. I have to look at my wife and I have to go, hey, you who. What are
You
you
don't
who's
have
up
to
to?
you do not have to do that.
I don't have to do the who's who challenge. Okay, good.
Don't have to do who's. God, I'm trying to remember the second one because it was so good. The first one is just the simplest challenge is take a selfie a copy of any of the Grinch movies.
Okay.
So you have to find one at a store, either the live action Grinch, the new Grinch, the old Grinch. Just find a VHS, DVD, Blu-ray copy somewhere. This time of the year probably won't be too hard. You can probably find a copy of the Grinch somewhere.
So I don't even
If
have
you
to
own
buy it. Just go to a store, take a selfie of a copy of the Grinch.
Yes.
I own several copies of the Grinch 5 feet away from where we're filming this podcast. So there's a point already. I hold on. I'll be right back.
Hang on, can I redo the challenge?
Nope, you've already issued it.
Can I redo the? Can we redo the? Can we redo the?
Shelf.
Can we? Who owns the Grinch? Why do you own the Grinch?
can hear him yelling.
Why do you own the Grinch? What you got there?
Nothing.
Do you have the Grinch?
Maybe I don't. Well, we'll see next episode what the photo looks like.
Did you go to grab the Grinch only to realize that you don't actually own the Grinch?
I don't own a single copy of the Grinch. I don't know how I don't own a single copy of the Grinch. I have every Final Destination, every Maze Runner, every Ice Age, but not a single The Grinch.
I was here thinking, I'm like, do I have him write a report about the Grinch? Just get a selfie of the Grinch.
Okay, physical media. All right.
God, what was the second one? It was the one that kicked off all my ideas, and I can't even remember it.
Was it food-based or costume-based?
Because I had 3 levels of difficulty, and the middle one seemed like the most reasonable. I'll start with the most difficult one then, and then I'll try and jump back.
If
to
the most
middle
difficult
one.
is steal a present, I'll lose. Steal a
I
gift.
thought that would be a good one. That would be a good one. I want you to get some photos in public of you in a very well-made, homemade Grinch cosplay or costume to go show your Grinch spirit.
So I can't buy a Grinch costume. I have to make a Grinch costume.
If you want to spend the money to make a Grinch costume, you can, or you can make your own, which would be very funny.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do, and then go out and spread some Grinchy cheer, get lots of photos.
That's cool. That's awesome, man. Huh. Okay. Gross.
So, look like the Grinch, photo with the Grinch.
Uh-huh.
What was the second challenge?
Kill the Grinch.
Kill the Grinch.
Adopt a dog and name him Max. Drink a bunch of milk and cookies. Find a roast beast. Carve the Who ham.
Oh, I should have written it down.
Ride in a tiny car. What else is in that movie?
Oh! Doy! It's so obvious. It's so obvious. The thing that kicked this all off. It's so obvious. I need you. This one could be difficult or easy depending on how big of a Grunch fan you are.
Okay.
I need you, while blindfolded, so you cannot cheat, to either say or sing, recite the entire Grinch song. The You're a Mean
You're
One,
a mean one.
Mr. Grinch.
You have termites in your smile.
It's basically just 7 verses of him talking about how the Grinch is an asshole.
If I had to choose the two of you, I'd choose the seasick crocodile. I love that song.
You can either sing or just say it, but without cheating or looking at the lyrics, you have to memorize and recite it.
Okay.
That was the challenge that kicked it off.
Next week, I'm going to give you an 8-hour video where I just try 80 times in a row and I go, shit! And then I go again, and I go, shit, the next podcast is going to have an extra 80 hours of video on it.
It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, if you do the whole thing and flub one line, I'm not going to cancel it.
Okay.
It's just like, if it's like really bad and it's like not even close. But like, if you flub some lines, it's fine. But if it's close enough,
Okay.
it doesn't have to be perfect.
I'm trying to think. because I know at least 3 of the verses. That would be funny if I just performed it right now.
You just did it right now, the whole song perfectly. You're like, I've heard the song 100 times this week.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I think if I just listen to the song for an hour straight tonight, I could perform it from memory tomorrow. I'm going to try and do this one as quickly as possible.
You're going to go crazy.
Yeah, I'm just exclusively going to listen to You're a Mean One. It's so good. It is such a good little song. I love it so much. All right. I have to okay, perform Mean One. I have to take a photo with Mean One. I have to become the Mean One. Okay. It's been a while since we've had a theme since 1984, but now we've got Grinch.
And the whole public photo is just for funny, because as much as just slapping a bunch of lettuce to your body and taking a photo in your kitchen, I want something where you will have to probably be seen by another human being.
And you said a series of, you didn't say one photo, you said photos. Are you going to stick to that? You want a collection of...
I would like as many photos as you can get. I love the idea of a child happily running up to you going, "It's the Grinch!"
I'm picturing how this homemade costume is going to look. No child will recognize... Yeah, I was going to say, is it a rule that other people can recognize me, or is it just to be like, clearly I see what you're going for because I issued the challenge?
If I see it and I'm like, yeah, that's Grinchy.
Okay. All right. Is it a certain type of, like, do I need to be all green? Can I be Grinch in the Santa outfit? Is it just dealer's choice here? Because if I have to be all green, that's a real problem. That's way more difficult than just putting on a Santa outfit and having a green face and legs.
A green man in a Santa outfit just looking like you have some terrible disease would be pretty funny.
Okay. So. Oh, there's so many options. I might double punish. I might just give wife $50 and be like, go to the store, find whatever you feel like can make me green and look icky and gross. And then you do whatever you want to me. Because I could go spray paint, I could go cotton, I could go feathers, I could go the lettuce route. Oh, I could get a paintball gun and just have people shoot me and just... Okay. All right. And I think these are fun for the audience too. At least 2 out of the 3. I don't think anyone's going to do the third option unless they just happen to have a Grinch costume. You're not recording. You're not recording. You're not recording. We are 45 minutes in, Kyle.
Trey, why am I not recording?
You don't get to... So, you've lost your WAMO card. Well, yeah, I was going to say, this is the intent of your WAMO card. You could have saved it for a point later. But, all right. I mean, I'll let it go. I got to figure it out. I did agree to the terms and conditions. You were allowed 1 fuck-up, 1 free point. I didn't think it was going to be cashed in so early. Go ahead and record now. I'll let the audience know if Kyle's audio is shit for the first 45 minutes, that's why. I still have your audio. Don't worry. I record your audio too. As a
you have my audio?
Yeah, I record Discord audio.
Thank God.
So it'll still cut out and be kind of shit, but I won't have an Oops All Trey episode now. We will have your audio and video. You'll just suddenly sound better at this point in the episode.
If there's any lines where I got too loud and it's atrocious, let me know. I'll re-record it. But I genuinely thought that we were just about to repeat everything we just said again. And I'm like, all right, in Red 1, Dwayne The Rock Johnson plays an elf.
Yeah. At least in this way, it's halfway through. It's right after doing all the like scripted setup bits, so we could just run right through it all again. But
oh my God.
Holy shit. Maybe one of my future options will be you have to reread your Red 1 review. I mean, I can't give you that much crap. I mean, unless you don't want to cash in your I fucked up card. God. Wow.
I don't know why I didn't hit record. I just looked over and I'm just like, and I saw, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I saw the pain hit your eyes, and I immediately knew what you were looking at when I saw you look at your other monitor there. Whew. Yeah, no, that's not as diabolical. Eventually, I'll make something else that can also back up record my audio in case I ever hopefully never, but in case I ever forget. But yes, I backup record your audio and video for you, so
Oh.
you're clear. Because I have multiple audio tracks, so I could change your audio. We don't have to be on the same audio track. I've got Discord audio and then my audio, and then usually I add your recording. So then I line up your Discord audio with the audio you send me,
Yeah.
and then I can just delete the Discord audio, and then you sound good. But now that you're recording, I do want to do something new that I keep forgetting every episode, which would just help me a lot in the editing booth, which is syncing. So now that you've just started recording, it'll make this much easier. If you will just give me a few, you say the word clap and you clap just visually so I can line up the video and audio easier.
Clap. 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 Clap, 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 clap.
So
Clap, clap, clap.
this is where if we had synced and you had not recorded, I'd be fucked because Discord is not picking up any of those claps, but surely your audio is, and that is all I need. Okay, very good. I'll also clap, which I mean I don't need to. Mine's already just stitched together in one. Okay, so we have the Grinches, we have the challenges. You got 2 points. We're now 10 and 10. Let me look at. Hold on. Let me figure out how many opportunities we each have to take the lead here towards the end. So we're recording our last attempt to be on the 30th. So you've given me options. Then you get option 16th. I get options the 23rd. You will have the final attempts at the end of the month on the 30th recording on December 30th. You will have the buzzer beatered attempts, basically, to see if you can make it. Oh wait, no, the 30th will be where we reveal the winner because that comes out on January 2nd. So we have. Okay, we have 3 or 4.
What happens? What happens if we end in a tie? Which is what I'm hoping for.
I think we both spend all of January shirtless, or we kiss, or I had a few ideas. We could. If we get to the last week and we're tied, I thought about we could do bingo WAMO bingo, where we each spin an episode and we design a 5x5 challenge board. We shuffle each other's bingo cards and we have 1 week to either get the most bingos, but if there's a tie on that, then most spaces. That will only happen if we end the year in a tie. I think we go to WAMO bingo.
All right.
And we each both have 25 challenges to get as many points as possible. And if we tie there, we just, I don't know, we quit the podcast because that's a message.
Yeah.
So I think now the audience is going to root for a tie, but we'll see what happens. I can get 2 points this week. I can get 2 points this week. I will get 2 points. I would like to get 3. I haven't had a full 3-point, I think, once in the show's history so far.
Funniest scenario is you can't find a copy of the movie. No matter how hard you try, you can't memorize the movie, but you build the best Grinch cosplay anybody has ever seen and become a local town legend.
I would like to go to the store to find the movie as the Grinch, and they're like, "What? I'm like, I need to find a movie." And they're like, "What movie are you looking for?" It's like, "Well, look at me." I think that's the best case. I might get kicked out of my local Walmart for filming. Maybe I'll film secretly or something. But yeah, I think going to the store as the Grinch to get the photos and find the movie, rather than doing the movie the easy one first, I think I have to have the costume to obtain the movie.
Good God.
I'm going to have a fun week. My wife's going to be embarrassed of me. It's going to be a good time. Oh, shit. So, all right. You're going to have the week off. I'm going to be playing the Grunch. Did you have anything of note or of interest this week since we recorded late? I mean, it's been since we recorded that on Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You have 3 days.
I got a couple talking points here.
Okay, you got a couple talking points. What do you got?
How do you feel about advent calendars?
Okay, I feel like I need to choose the right answer here because you're saying it, I think, with some joy. I want to say they're shit, but my wife loves them and people love them.
Yeah.
How do you feel about them?
You got you got like the candy ones where it's like today's December 4th, and you open it and it's a little chocolate. And
Yeah.
You're like, life is good. And then you got the little Lego ones and the little toy ones and all of that. But me and Denise were talking, and she's opened my eyes to how a lot of these are scams.
Yeah.
There's a makeup and perfume brand called Dior.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very fancy. This year they have so all of their, makeups and perfumes are pretty pricey, like over $100. Mm-hmm. And this year they announced an advent calendar that would be filled with makeups and perfumes. And you're like, damn, that's like 25 days of that. It is a $1,000 advent calendar. And even if for one brief moment you're like, okay, it probably still mats out, people online are freaking out because 2/3 of the advent calendar are paper ornaments.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Like, you're opening it up and you're like, what makeup or perfume am I getting? And it's an ornament, and not even like a metallic
just
ornament,
a shitty piece of paper
ornament.
I was going to say, usually the point of advent calendars, I think, and the reason I don't like them, is they're just selling you sample kits. They're just saying, here's a little taste test. None of them are like more than a dot, more than travel size. And then you go, ooh, I like that. And then hopefully throughout the year you buy more of that. But it's so much shitty plastic casing that you're going to throw away just to get these samples. You're going to like 10% of them. I'm a grown up. I know I can open all of them the first day I buy it. I'm not going to wait till Christmas.
I bought a hot sauce advent calendar one, and by like day 12, I'm like, I'm so tired of hot sauce.
You're like, one of these is good. There's not a good batting average here, and I'm not gonna buy this hot sauce later again. But yeah, like $1,000 advent calendar is just crazy. That's got to just be some publicity stunt. They got to know 3 people are buying the thing. There's no way anybody actually wants it. It's got to be like some status symbol.
So people are getting real mad at Dior.
Well, speaking of, the industry, I don't know what industry, but the industry, the Dior industry. I like to bring, we had a fun time last week bringing funny news headlines, and then we lost the footage of, Elvis Judge got fired, cat fell through windshield. Kim Kardashian learned she has low brain activity after getting a brain scan. Her response, and I quote, "That can't be right."
That can't be. No, that can't be right.
That can't be right.
That can't be right.
Low brain activity.
What does your brain literally emit thinking?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Scan your brain?
I think the doctor was just bullying her. I don't know what, like, you get an MRI of the brain or you scan the brain and they're like, brain's real quiet today. I feel like that just means you got to be less anxious or something. I don't think that has to be smart, but she took it personally.
I love the idea that anytime you dream or think or imagine or like problem solve, like little lights in your head are going off.
Oh yeah.
And like they stuck her in the scanner, and for like 4 minutes, just like it was.
I think
black.
she's dead.
And then they take her out, and they're like, she's just not thinking. She just doesn't think.
She just doesn't. Yeah, Kim Kardashian, who is trying to be a lawyer right now. Another brain scan is, I remember there was Donald Trump had an MRI, and he was like, "I'm not going to tell you the results." And everyone was like, "Will you tell us what was scanned?" He goes, "I don't even know what they scanned." And an MRI is a brain scan, so it's crazy that he doesn't know what was scanned with the MRI. I saw there's a lot of movies out right now. Do you see any new movies since I last saw you?
I watched Red One.
You did watch Red One. I saw Zootopia 2. Which was nice. I bought the AMC popcorn bucket for this one because it was Flash the Sloth on a swing, which was really adorable. And my only review of the movie, think back to Zootopia 1, which, by the way, I didn't realize, this made me want to die, came out 10 years ago. Ooh. Yeah, it really hit me in the kidneys. Do you remember Shakira as the gazelle from Zootopia 1?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to describe Shakira's character as the gazelle, with one word from the first film. What would your one word be? She's a funhouse mirror.
I'm not a furry,
but
I did hear her hit new song, which people found out is literally just she took her World Series Africa song and just like redid the lyrics.
It's so much fun,
which
though.
is really funny.
Anyway, so there's something happening in a lot of cartoons. So like with Space Jam 2, they de-fuckified Lola Bunny. That's the word I'm going to use. And in Zootopia 2, they did the opposite technology. At one point, me and Ethan just looked at each other and went, what is happening? At one point, she's in a thong just fully shaking her ass. It's the entire 90% of the movie screen. She is just shaking her booty Shakira style. And I'm like, whoa. I can't imagine seeing a gazelle's butt shaking in IMAX, but if you got a free time this weekend.
It's like the back in the 90s when they did the same thing where they're like, it's an animal. It's an animal, so nobody's gonna... It's funny because it's an animal doing a sexy thing. But then you have the one person in the audience who's like, oh! And then for the rest of their life, you know, they're buying fursuits now.
I'm just saying, you remember Angelina Jolie Fish from Shark Tale? Gazelle from Zootopia 2 giving her a run for her money. Okay, what's your cartoon then? And don't pick the classic. You don't get to pick Lola Bunny. You can't pick Jessica Rabbit. And you can't pick Gazelle.
Does it have to be an animal?
Yeah. We're doing cartoon animals right now. Because if we do we'll eventually just do cartoon women. We can do a cartoon women tier list one of these days.
All right. I just Googled sexy cartoon animal, and it's some of these choices is blowing my mind. They got the goddamn cow from the cheese commercial. They got the horse from Spirit. Cow. Yeah, they got
none of these are even humanoid. These are just animals.
This photo is one of the top results of sexy cartoon animal, and I'm like, no. Okay, all right, hear me out. Here's a hot take. The spider, the French spider from James and the Giant Peach. Don't judge me. There she is. Don't judge me. Let's see. Who else do we got here?
The French spider. Whoa.
Don't judge.
Dude, okay. Nala.
That's just a lion. Okay, this is the one where genuinely one of my first cartoon crushes, like genuinely, was Gadget from Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. She was a baddie.
Okay.
She was. She was a baddie.
Who was
Chip and
Max, Goofy son Max? He had a love interest. That was somebody I knew a lot of people. Roxanne. There is
the goddamn
so much
fish from Shark Tale is here. I'm gonna include her just so you can throw her on screen so people can be like, God damn.
Dude, there's so many just chickens. Okay, a lot of people are saying the Fox Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Mufasa's on here. Disney's hottest there is so much furry porn on my phone right now. Jesus Christ. God forbid. Okay, these are the top 20 ranked by Polygon. Hottest animals by Disney. Bernard from The Rescuers. I'll be able to look him up real quick. Tramp from Lady and the Tramp. What is happening? No, they're... Okay, I'm going to scroll down to the good ones. Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, Dodger from Oliver and Company. That's a cool dog.
I think there's a certain level of anthro you need before it's literally just a dog that can talk.
Judy Hopps from Zootopia, which is just a buddy. I say I don't understand that one, but then there's the gazelle and the fish. So, Lady the Tramp. That's just a dog.
Oh, that's a dog.
The hot tigers from Zootopia. If we're going to talk about Gazelle, we got to talk about our backup dancers, the Tigers. Woof.
Yeah. Woof.
Nick Wilde I've never gotten. He's just a sleazy fox that wears a button up and talks like Jason Bateman. I don't get it. Nala, number 7. Number 6, Simba, ranks higher than Nala. Number 5, you're gonna want to look at this one.
Yep.
Basil, the Great Mouse Detective.
Okay, now hang on.
He looks like a mouse James Bond, I think.
Yeah, no, he a baddie.
He's only a few inches tall, but he has the sexiest British accent, and he's super intelligent. Why did they gotta write this character sheet for him? Roxanne at number 4. Number 3, she doesn't have a name, also from Goofy Movie. Goofy Movie knows how to make hot women. Look up Barrette Girl, Goofy Movie. She doesn't even have a name. She's just a girl that wears a barrette.
From
Extremely Goofy Movie. Yeah, French barrette girl from Extremely Goofy.
She a baddie.
And then number 2, Kovu from The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. I've never seen that character in my life.
Oh, he's the edgy goth one.
And then number 1, Robin Hood from Robin Hood. That is just a fox dressed up as Robin Hood. Okay. This might be one of the worst. We might have to make our own animals that should be
Animals we would bang tier list.
We could do that. 10. We could just do we could do the tier list if animals were sentient and could consent. Which would we bone? Which would we not bone list? Number 1, giraffe, but not why you think. So there's our weekly furry conversation. If you guys are curious. What else do I have here this week other than just Shakira Gazelle?
My Google algorithm is ruined now.
There was a lot of streamer news this week. We don't usually talk about the Twitch side of stuff. Where there was the Streamer Awards, which I don't have a problem with one way or the other. But a peanut won Best VTuber, and there's a real just civil war happening right now in the VTuber community on whether or not a peanut counts because it's not an anime figure with huge gazungas.
It's not a big boob anime girl.
It's not a horny like high pitched voice character.
For those who don't know, like a VTuber, virtual tuber, is like when you're like watching a YouTube video and like the person talking is like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Or like a 3D thing, or, you know, it's basically like I want to be on YouTube, but the idea of me being at Walmart and someone running up to me and stopping me makes me cringe, so I'm going to be a virtual character. And people can do that live now. Like, you can be animated basically live, like a 3D character.
And for some reason, the most popular VTuber form is a small anime girl with huge boobs that talks in a high-pitched voice. 99% are that. They can be any form. They're usually either sexy animals or sexy women.
I mean, the idea that you can go on to Twitch right now and have a big boob anime woman say your name and have a conversation with you live, like, take 8 of my tier 3 subs.
Yeah.
I get it. Of course, a bunch of those big boob anime women were nominated for an award, and a guy who does a face filter of a peanut, like a little peanut with a face won. So half of the people are like, yeah, good for him, that's funny, and half of the people are like, not a lot of effort there. I spent hours on my boobs.
I think the biggest thing I've seen wasn't even effort. A lot of people are just arguing that he's not a VTuber, and it's just, you're insane. Do you think the man looks like a peanut in real life? No, he's a VTuber. The end. And people are like, well, he said he's not a VTuber. They said he's a P-tuber. It's like, no, that's a pun because he's a peanut. He's a peanut. He's a peanut VTuber. It's just, I just can't imagine just, yeah. Because it's also like, yeah, the most approachable, if the average voter is voting for best VTuber and they're not, most people aren't into VTubers, they're going to vote for the funny peanut and not the 4 anime lollies off to the side.
I'm gonna set up an anime girl, and next podcast I'm gonna VTube. There'll be an anime woman on the screen. That would be
so sick. We should just have next Halloween. There's just 2 monitors this time, and it's both of us VTubing at each other.
I'll make it every time I slightly move, like my boobs
You
just
go
fling
flying
all
across
over the place.
frame as the weight carries you. It's like in the Simpsons movie when Homer looks up to the sky and gets the vision of the large boobed woman and she swings them to let him know which way is home. But other than that, there was also other streamer news, which makes me feel more and more detached from the youth. I'm only 28. I'm only 28. But every day I'm just confused. It's like I'll go on TikTok, and occasionally you get a thirst trap, which is just this woman just shaking her booty or twerking, and usually back in my day, not that long ago, you just go nice, cool, neat. You'd appreciate it. You'd move on. You'd even be like, man, if I could get more of these butts on my feed, that'd be great. But now you click on the comments on these, and the Andrew Tates of the world have ruined it, and it's just, she has a father. I bet she has no brain. I don't know what happened and why we just can't appreciate it anymore, but it's ruined. I don't know why we've ruined it. I don't know why they care so much, but just go, I was begging on my hands and knees pleading in 2017, God, why aren't there more thick, fucking crazy women on the internet? And now they're there. And now the men are mad about it. And I don't get it.
Yeah. The internet is awful, terrible.
Yeah.
Don't scare off the women, please. Don't scare women off the internet. It's all I have.
All
I have.
It's so, there was this streamer who, however you feel about him, Pay Money Wubby, he rented and leased a high school gymnasium to film a stream, which is a common thing movies and TV shows do. Movies and TV shows have even filmed school shootings at schools. That's just a normal thing that happens. Could be violent.
Recreated or
no, not recreated, but like if a movie calls for a scene where there's a shooting or violence at a school, they would rent or lease the school for a set. And if, like Scream, a lot of the Scream movies are filmed and set at schools. But anyways, Pay Money Wubby had a stream sponsored by Fansly, which is a like sort of similar to OnlyFans.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, similar to OnlyFans, which Kyle doesn't know what that is. It's a paid
what
subscription service for self-employed sex workers, basically, who want to show their body in a fun way. And it was just 24-hour tag. It was just, and if they got caught, they'd be punished. The streamers. At one point, they had to...
You say 24-hour tag?
Yeah, they did a 24-hour tag stream in this high school gymnasium that they rented out. And I guess the next day, there was a scandal because students... They only found out because they wanted to use the gym on Friday, and it was being set up for the stream, so it was shut down to the public, and then it was rented out for the weekends. And they were, like, peeking in, and they saw, like... Some of the streamers eating chocolate off the Fansly model feet as one of the punishments. Sometimes they would be getting their legs waxed as a punishment, or just funny punishments for getting caught in tag. It was meant to like emulate a Japanese or Korean style game show and just like the wacky punishments. So Fox News got the story. And now there is a lawsuit happening between the streamer and the school that there was contract violations. And they're interviewing students in front of the school. And all of the students are like, I'm just disappointed in my school. I'm just astonished that they would stoop so low. If I found out my school had leased the gym for Fansly models to be a part of a 24-hour tag, I would think that's the coolest. I would never stop telling people that. I'd be so proud. I'd be like, God, I wish my school would do cool stuff like that. But all these like hip teens, whether it's the football jocks or whoever, they're like, I'm just disappointed to see this happen in my community. It's like, shut up. Shut up. It's cool. It's awesome. That's so cool. That's a crazy thing that happened at your school, and that's a cool story. Get over it. I was so mad.
Oh
I don't get the youth.
It's the same thing now where stuff in movies. There's like no nudity in movies anymore.
Yeah,
because everybody got upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I've seen
horseshoe.
the Zoomers are now the same way where they're like, why is there nudity? There's like, first of all, there's not nudity in 80% of media, maybe even 90% of media. Yeah, I don't. It's just it's interesting to see happen. I don't know why it's happening, but it's yeah. When we were youths, we were just like, if there could just be more naked people everywhere, and now it's there, and people are once again. I guess it's always grass is greener. I don't know.
I feel like, because it's like you go, I feel like back in, the 70s and 80s when stuff was less accessible. So you'd go see a horror movie, and then like every 20 minutes a character would be naked. And then you're like, somebody would buy the VHS, and you're basically getting a horror movie and a porno.
Dude, I remember because you'd get screen burned sometimes, and you'd have to re-screen burn it so your parents wouldn't know you were looking at the boob because you'd have it paused so long that like the tit would screen burn. I had a friend who had this fancy VCR player that could zoom in on the frame, and so we would just put on American Pie. You get to the first boob, and we just pause it, and he just zoom it in, and we didn't know what to do, so we just kind of stare for a while.
Like, that's a boob?
That's a boob?
But now I feel like, now that everything is like overly accessible, that now it's like people are like annoyed. Like, you sit down to watch a movie and it has the audacity during this gripping horror movie to throw boobs on screen. You're like, get that out of here. Oh, I can look at that later. What is it doing in the movie? And I think a lot of people now, they like watch movies with like their parents. And I think it's the ultimate
Which is interesting because movies have the first and socially acceptable trigger warnings. You go to a movie and it says rated R for these reasons. You're never shocked. You know exactly, like, they are required by law and have been for many years to tell you exactly. Now, it used to be you'd watch a PG Indiana Jones movie and there'd be boobs everywhere. They fixed that. It used to be boobs were all the way down to the G rating. I don't know what was happening.
What? I think I can't remember if it's Airplane. If Airplane is rated G or PG. I think it's
and there's
PG.
just a
That's
whole
got boobs.
frame of boobs for like 10 seconds in that movie, just out of nowhere.
The rating system used to be crazy.
Yeah.
What was always your go-to in the situation of watching a movie with friends or parents and nudity happens and it's like you don't really want to address it? So are you the like, look at your phone, conveniently go to the bathroom,
Before,
point at the screen and go, "Ooga!"
when I was 15 and below, if we put a movie on and there was any nudity or thing we shouldn't see, our parents would make us either cover our eyes or put our blankets over our faces. So I cut a hole in my blanket. Very tiny pinhole so I could see out, nobody could see in. And so I never stopped watching any movie ever as a child. I would just grab the shittiest, rattiest quilt with tons of holes in it, and I would just, wow. And then I'd come back and be like, what's happening in the movie? I don't know what happened. Why were they so angry and arguing the whole time? I remember, this is a fun question that I wonder if still happens with how accessible everything is. It's like wondering, like, are people still having the Santa talk with kids, on their tablets in kindergarten telling the other kindergartners? I remember in 8th grade, my parents went to give me the talk, which, as somebody that grew up when I grew up, 8th grade was way too late. I had already seen terabytes of porn on my iPhone. It was far too late. Because it's one of those things where, like, each generation doesn't understand it until... So, like, I'll probably be too strict to my kid about phones, but my mom was like, yeah, get this new iPhone. And I just went, boobs. And there was just boobs everywhere all the time. It was great and fantastic. And then, yeah, in 8th grade, we had to do a report in health class for STDs. And they were like, oh, you're doing... Jeez, that seems really early. All right, I guess they're going to teach about STDs. We got to talk to you. And I was like, shit. And I'd be like... They do the what? To the who? Because I wasn't going to let them know, so I'd have that awkward conversation, and I already knew.
Yeah.
Did you have to have the talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it just came from, like, I knew about boobs, but I just genuinely, I was like, because as a kid, you see pregnant people all the time, and I knew that where babies came from, but I had the audacity to ask. I'm like, how does the baby get in there? How does it get in there? And then they're like, the penis. And I'm like, wow.
Does the what
So I did get it early enough before I knew. One of the few that got to talk before knowing.
Dude, I wished I had gotten to talk sooner, though, because for about 2 years, I don't think I've ever shared this story. For about 2 years, I might cut this. For about 2 years, I just edged because I was terrified. Because up to that point, only P had come out. And there's just so much energy and it's just almost violent, honestly, in the videos. And I was like, I don't know if my penis is prepared to have that. And so I just edged for 2 years. And then there was one day I prepped myself. I tried for 2 weeks. I prepped myself for the shower, and I was like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to get in the shower. And I just, for 2 weeks, I couldn't. And there was one day where I was like LeBron before Game 7. I chalked up my hands. I went in, and I was like, all right, we're going to commit. And then from then on, I was like, oh, this is going to be a habit. And then just like every middle school boy, that was my favorite sport for way too long.
I'm proud of you, bud.
Thanks, man. Did you have that? I assume every young boy had that same problem, right?
Oh my god. This is not where I expected the Red One episode to go. We opened the episode with, I was trying to beat Minecraft. That Ender Dragon's pretty difficult. And then by the end of the episode, it's like, man, jacking off every day. Sometimes multiple times.
Can I ask you? You said multiple times. What's your high score?
I've never had a high score.
Okay.
It's always been like dead to the world. Like never want to do it ever again. The post nut.
Dude, I swear I
become
British afterwards. I'm just like, oh, good heavens.
Oh, good heavens.
Oh, God.
I did it again, didn't I?
It's like Bruce Banner and the Hulk. You're just like, come on, man. You're better than this. You pay taxes.
I'm like, no, I can't Hulk out now. I have chores that need to be done. Go away.
What have I done? It's on the ceiling, damn it. No, every time I become the biggest prude in the world, I'm just like, ugh, you filth. What else is in my notes?
But it's just funny that, like, I remember as a teenager, my mom sat me down to, of course, watch Final Destination. My mom loves horror movies. It's her favorite. She just pretty much watches horror movies and wanted to get me into horror movies at a time when I'd be scared. And it's so funny, like, I think Final Destination 4 and others, where I'm watching people be horribly mutilated and murdered in the most horrible ways, and then the second a nude scene comes up, my mom is like, cover your eyes. I don't want you to see this.
Right.
This would mess
you
up.
This is too much.
This is too much. After watching the most horrific, gory death I've ever seen, and then, God forbid, a pair of big naturals.
That's such a American thing I've heard from other countries that is super weird. Whereas, like, I think Europe, it's the completely inverse, obviously, where they're like, yeah, they can see naked people. They have these parts too. But yeah, they shouldn't see somebody get put into a wood chipper. One of these things is worse than the other. But you know,
this is a good one because what was your first exposure to blood or something scary?
Not where I thought you were going with this, but all right.
Because, like, I'll start. Because obviously, when you're young enough, you don't really understand, like, what's in us or that people can die. Mm-hmm. Just that kind of thing. So the funniest, my first exposure ever was, and I'll send you a snippet. I'll send you a video. But my uncle was playing a game on PS1 called Tenchu, and it's a samurai game. And at one point, he cuts a guy's throat open, and in like PS1 graphics, like globs of blood fly out of his throat. and they're like thick PS1 polygon like chunks.
Stop! You have won. Your Princess Kick-His head below. Guarded by Lord Mayor himself. I will see you in hell.
And then they hit the ground, and it like traumatized me because like I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know how that happens. I thought they were like bugs,
Right?
Because I didn't understand blood or death or anything, and so it like freaked me out forever. So anytime I would see blood, I would remember that.
Yeah, it's like anime. You get a
like,
paper cut, and it's like that blood. Yeah.
And the fact that it was like PS1 just meant it was more of like a dreamlike, couldn't understand it. Because if I had seen like Friday the 13th and seen blood, it would have like freaked me out. But like, what was your first?
God, everyone remembers their first. Probably wasn't
horror movie, horror game.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Blood.
It was so jarring. It's either Jeepers Creepers or Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
which were even worse
two.
because I grew up in the country around cornfields, and you would just go to bed and it'd be pitch black, and you could hear a coyote fart 2 miles away or a twig snap. Yeah, either Jeepers. I was terrified of Jeepers Creepers. Anytime we were driving at night, I would watch out my window at the cornfields and just like, oh, I can see him sprinting out there after us. Or Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the other one, where that one is just terrifying and awful. And they do the remake of Texas Chainsaw. I mean, they've done 8 remakes, but there's one of them where it's set up sort of like the Titanic movie, where these documentarians and a sheriff are going back to the house, and they're like, ooh, you walk in here, you see there's signs of a struggle, and it flashes back to the struggle, and then eventually the movie ends, and they're like, all right, that's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house, and then he's there, and he kills them, and then the movie ends. And I was like, holy shit, he's real, and I live in Oklahoma. Fuck! Because in that one, he was near Oklahoma or something like that, and I was so scared of that.
Yeah.
But then you learn about Ed Gein, and you go, oh, the world is a terrible place. Never mind. The inspiration for goddamn near all of them. I thought you were going to ask, what was my first experience with boob or something like that? Which we go the other way. I had a very linear path. Where first, it's like, all right, what am I into? I was 7, and my mom was always watching soap operas. I thought they were stupid, and one day I walked by, and 2 girls were just kissing, and I just stopped, and I went, this is interesting. And I was so young that nothing was happening, obviously, but I was like, this is going to be a part of me for a while. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this. And then I grew up. I got my first flip phone, this like pink Razor Motorola, right before my dad was going to take me to Colorado on this long trip. And I'm going through it. I'm digging through the files like a kid can, but an adult, doesn't know how to do yet. And I find just this porn photo of a woman with like big heaving boobs. And again, I'm just like, I'm gonna look, and the entire Colorado trip, they're hiking mountains, and I'm just laying in bed, I don't know what to do with you yet, but you're here.
At this point, you never hulked out. You're still British. So you're quiet.
I'm just like, this tickles my brain, but not in a I'm developed yet. I'm just awesome, cool, okay.
Good luck with titling this episode, bud.
And so then we're on the way back from Colorado, and my dad has a Zune because my dad's 95 years old, and my phone dies, and I'm like, Dad, can I listen to the music on your Zune? And he goes, sure. And on the Zune, he's got music videos, and it's the first time I learned that songs are about sex. Like, it's like when you hear "Love Gun" by Kiss, and you're like, cool, but he means penis. But there's this song that's like, when you're down on me, in between the sheets, every sound you make. I don't know if you know that song. I don't know the name of it. But I just always heard it growing up. I'm like, oh, that's a cool sounding song. And so I click on the music video, and the music video for that song is basically a porn. And I just sat there, and I just looped. Everyone else is asleep in the back seats, and it's looping. And I'm like, okay, it's looping. And then the Zune dies. And I go, hey, Dad, I need the charger. Because otherwise when he turns it on and it powers on, it's going to be on that video and he'll know what I saw. And he was like, no, son, if it died, it means you're done watching it. And so I assume. And so he gave me that awakening. And then freshman year of high school, funny enough, my dad took me to camp.
He just assumes you really liked that song when he turned it on.
And then freshman year of high school, he takes me to Kansas City Rock Fest. And there's so much rain, the band gets delayed by like an hour. And the announcer's like, let's turn this rock fest into a breast fest. Because every music festival is just, there's boobs everywhere. And then he brings 10 women on stage and they flash the crowd. And I'm right next to my dad, shoulder to shoulder. And this is the first boobs I've seen in real life now. So my dad has shown me my first virtual boobs. And now he doesn't know this. I'll need to tell him one day. And now my first real life boobs. And we're just both nice. So what about you, man?
I've never seen boobs in my life, and at this point, I'm gonna try and go for the world record.
Be terrified.
Can you imagine someone going like 50 years without seeing boobs, and then they just see a pair, and just like what that would do emotionally?
Yeah, they put a hole through their ceiling. You hear a shotgun click blast. Yeah, you just hear shh, and then a gunshot go off.
Oh my god. Oh, good heavens.
Yeah, he's been British the whole time. He's just been so horny and pent up he never knew. He's shit.
He never knew.
Title of this is just We're British Now. You'll find out why later. I'm trying to look at my notes and understand how we got to that point, and I can't see the line. Reminder, we have a P.O. box now. It's in the description. It's on screen. There's a full address. If you have questions about it, feel free to email us or comment or ask us about it. If you send something, you don't have to, but it might be smart to let us know so I can keep an eye out for it in case it maybe gets lost or something. If you send something, a little bit of an adult note, you might put a return address on it. You don't have to. If it gets here, we'll mark it out, obviously. We won't dox you. We won't go, hey, look, this is where they live. They sent us this. If you send a return address, that means if it gets lost and doesn't make it to us, it at least gets back to you. So make sure to put a return address on it if you want to do that. Do you have any things you're hoping we get sent? Any expectations, any hopes or dreams or things you hope we don't get?
No hair, please.
No hair? Is that your only?
No hair, no glitter.
My first P.O. box I did for Twitch, I got some dead cockroaches, which was accidental. They just had it packed for so long at their home, which had cockroaches, and so when it arrived, they were just still in the box, and then they had died, and then I thought they were play cockroaches, so I kept grabbing them, thinking they were plastic, but they were real cockroaches, and that was gross.
Oh!
So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can send a potato in the mail. You can just send a potato. If you grab a potato, you write in marker the address, you can mail it. I don't know.
That could actually kill us.
How would that kill us?
The potatoes, after so long, they emit poison. All the people that walk into basements that are filled with potatoes, and then the basement, they instantly die. So if the potato is old enough and we open the box, we die.
Oh. Okay, don't send us a potato then. I wasn't...
I don't know if one potato in one box would kill us.
No, it doesn't have to be in a box. You can send a potato without a box in the mail.
In an envelope?
No, you can take a potato, write in permanent marker the address, and put it in the mail. I am dead serious. That is a thing you can do. There is this company that like min-maxes it and helps people do it called Potato Parcel, where you can give them $5 and they'll send a potato to one of your friends.
If anybody sends me a potato, I will eat it live immediately after opening it.
There's going to be so many razor blades in the potato. So, yeah, send some to the P.O. Box if you feel like it. Let us know if you have any questions or if you've sent something, want to make sure it makes it to us. God, I went back to our DMs, and there's just a lot of sexy cartoons in our DMs. And then the weird duck. All right, let me check the emails. Let me check the emails. Go to wamopod@gmail.com if you want to send an email to me or Kyle. wamopod@gmail.com. Let us know if you want us to say your name or not say your name. Otherwise, I might say your name. This person wishes to be anonymous. Hey guys, I thought your story where you accidentally harassed a stranger in a public restroom was funny. Oh yeah, I shared the story. I tried to throw my hoodie at my brother who I thought was pooping in the stall, and then I got him hate crimed. For context, my friend and I have an inside joke with the phrase, I shit my whole ass. Okay?
Your whole ass.
I shit my whole ass. There's not much of a story to it, but the line delivery cracks me up. One day we're traveling back down from an anime convention, and nature calls. I stop at a gas station and use a restroom stall, then see a pair of shoes I don't recognize go into the stall next to me. The guy next to me starts letting it rip like a Beyblade, and my friend walked in a moment later. Thinking that it's me because I'm in the stall closest to the door, my friend, in a deep trucker voice, says, "Damn, son, was that your whole ass?" I had to fight, not crack up, so I can get out and rush us out of there before that guy came out. We never explained a thing. Damn, son, was that your whole
ass?
Have you had any bathroom interactions like that? I think I've forgotten to ask, where... Like, I've accidentally chuckled at somebody's loud-ass fart. I've gotten scared of somebody's loud fart. I've thrown a hoodie at someone. This anonymous person here has asked the person pooping if that was their whole ass.
I only chuckle when you get the people where, like, you can tell that, like, this bathroom trip saved their life. Like, you hear somebody pissing, and this happens a lot with, like, old people, but you hear somebody pissing, and they're like, I
don't know if it's a urinal thing. I don't know if the women deal with this, but there is so many men over the age of 30, and I'm scared to become 30, because when they get to the urinal, it doesn't matter how many people are around. They put the one hand up on the wall, they put the left hand on their hip, and they just, and you hearing dribbles come out. You're hearing dribbles come out. Every single time. I've had times where I'm pooping in the stall, and I've heard somebody run in, bang on the door, see that it's closed, and then they go, shit, and then they leave, and I go, oh, I feel so bad, because mine was not an emergency, and they are about to poop in the nearest trash can. Yeah, send an email if you guys have any other funny bathroom stories, incidents, accidents, or terror stories. Let's see. This is a very hypothetical situation and not something that I just went through. Let's say you were in a Discord call late into the night and suddenly both your full name and school email address appears on the screen. What would you do in that situation? Please tell me what are your options.
You post that I did not see it image. Everybody just did not see it. Everybody agrees.
I don't think I would care. I've learned at this point, like, there's certain Twitch streamers I watch that just use their full name and email. It's just, at a certain point, it's you're being preventative, but if somebody wants to be a piece of shit, you know what I mean? There's enough public info. Like, I've had at least 2 different viewers message me and be like, oh, hey, and this is the worst. Don't do this. Nothing makes a streamer scared more. I've had 2 different viewers over the years message me and go, hey, by the way, just being helpful, don't know if you know, but I took 5 minutes and I was able to find your address and phone number. And I go, don't do that. I know you can do that. Don't do that. You're not helping me. You're just freaking me out. And I go, okay, stop. Don't take the time. Yeah, I was say not sharing my name and email is just making it to where, like, it's harder for the lazy asshole hacker. I just don't want somebody to just stumble into my stream or my podcast, just haphazardly be like, oh, all right. Because I've been watching a Twitch stream, and I was like, I don't know, 16. I was like watching a stream or like a YouTube stream, and they were one of those like IRL public play streamers, and I go, oh, that's the restaurant they're at. And they just said what town they're in. All right. Hey, is this streamer there? And they go, yeah. And I go, okay. And then I hang up. Just because it's right there and I'm an impressionable child. And I go, oh, I can just dial this and be a part of the content? Cool. But yeah, no, if people want to be terrible, they're going to be terrible. So I wouldn't look too into it. There was that time we were trying to not let people know we were in Vegas, and you, within 5 seconds of us clocking to the hotel room, on stream told chat what hotel we were at, which was really funny.
When you watched Cars 1, how does Mater introduce himself to Lightning McQueen? Your
name's Mater. No,
Joe
you're not putting
Mater.
You're not putting
Joe
on
Mater.
TV.
Change
You're not
rapidly.
putting on TV.
What's the joke?
You're not putting on TV.
That's
You
not
were not putting on
funny.
TV. You just
Right.
literally just said where we were, you dumbass. Stop! Stop!
Why does he do that?
Count it. He'll spoil their location.
No, he didn't. It's a weird signal, man. Like,
I'm just gonna put on SpongeBob right now. Drop dead center in the middle of stream. Oh my god.
We were in the hotel room, and everybody was like, we don't want people to know where we're at, because we don't want people calling the hotel and, like, messing with us. And in the background, I'm turning on the TV to, like, put on, like, some Simpsons, and whenever the TV boots up, it just, in giant text, lists the hotel name and logo.
Welcome to the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino. I'll put the clip up. It's a very funny clip. We're in the middle of it, and we're like, you're like, can I put it on the TV? And we're just like, yeah, so we're at this nondescript hotel, and Brew looks over his shoulder, and you're not even reacting, as 50% of the stream is now Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino. And you're like, what? And we're like, what are you doing right now? They're on for that too. I mean, who could have known it would have done that? But it was just so funny how quickly.
It is funny, though, because that was during TwitchCon, so you have to imagine that every hotel had probably, like, 40 different streamers in it. So trying to find one streamer at one hotel would have just been...
Dear WAMO, what is the worst food to get at a restaurant? It can be a food item you love, especially homemade. But when it comes to restaurants, it's just the worst. Drago2143. If you go to a restaurant, if you sit down, you plan, you pay money, and you order spaghetti, you're stupid. I'm okay if you go to, like, if you go to a fancy place and you get the chicken strips, I'm not mad. I think you're dumb if you get spaghetti.
I think I agree, because, like, mac and cheese, they can go wild.
Yeah.
Pastas, they can go wild, but spaghetti is, like, the ultimate, easily affordable, easily makeable.
And it's always going to be more overpriced there, and it's going to be better at home because you've got your specific, like, palates and tastes you've figured out for spaghetti. It's so easy to make your own favorite spaghetti. It's not that hard.
If you're in a restaurant, get a lasagna.
Oh, yeah, because I'm not going to take 2 hours to make lasagna.
Get something that sounds a little weird. I had a chicken and mushroom. I didn't even recognize it, but it was like a unique sauce, and I'm like, ooh, now this is Italian.
If they're serving dessert and you get the cake, again, I'm making fun of you. You either get the ice cream, you get the flambe, you get the cobbler. There's so many. If you just get the slice of cake, you're dumb. I don't like that. What's another one? This was the one that I meant to read, where we basically answered a version of this question, but it got lost to the recording issue. What would you do, dear WAMO? Let's say you suddenly, today, both the internet and cellular data goes out indefinitely. Is there anything you do, any worries you'd have? Please tell me, what are your worries? So we answered this before, so I'll again reiterate. I look forward to that. You brought up, I think, solar flares being the cause of it at one point. If there's a bad storm or a blizzard, I hope the power goes out, not necessarily cellular data and internet. I like to find fun. I like disconnecting. I like getting the board games out, the Monopoly. So, like, yeah, I lose phone signal, internet, electricity goes out. I just grab Monopoly.
I'm the opposite. If everything goes out, I just go to sleep. I'm like, I hope shit's better when I wake up.
I love making fun. I have so many activity books. I've got so many candles that I would light. I would have an excuse to go out on a walk and explore, to find other people, to be like, hey, what's going on? My favorite days when I worked at Dairy Queen was when the power went out. I like to make and invent or just find fun. Finding fun is one of the more fun things for me. I did that thing in middle school where for Catholic Church, I was Amish for 2 months. I would be fine.
That doesn't sound fun.
So you try to sleep. What if 3 days later, what do you do? Power, internet, cellular data, all still out.
I sue if my power's out for 3 days. God damn, I'm throwing a
Who are you
hissy fit.
suing? You can't find a lawyer. There's no. What do you have? A phone book?
The company that is not giving me my electric or heat, I'm gonna kick their ass.
Right. But you need a lawyer to sue them. Where are you obtaining a lawyer?
I'll represent myself.
Okay, so you have to find the courts, though. Do you know where your local court is without electricity?
No.
Okay.
No, because I can't Google it.
You can't Google it, and you can't start the car. So you have to walk around till you find a courthouse, and then hope that in the midst of all the chaos, they're like, oh, by the way, you can sue these people. Even though it's the solar flare, it's not the electrical company's fault. My favorite thing when the power goes out is I forget plumbing still works. And I think a lot of people have that. I will not flush for a couple hours, and they'll be like, wait a second, I'm a dumbass.
Wait a second.
I'm a fucking idiot. Plumbing is so cool. Plumbing's one of my favorite, like, modern miracles. It's just all vacuums and gravity.
Toilet. I miss the old medieval days of just, like, sticking your ass out the tower window, and then there's the poopsmith down below.
Did you read the story too?
Which one?
So yeah, in olden times, the castles, their bathrooms, because they didn't care about the poor people, they would just poop out a whole, like, outcropping, basically, of the castle. There was this guy, this knight, who pissed off a lot of people in the area doing some Robin Hood type stuff, and he had a family castle built into these cliff rocks. And so he pissed off everybody, got chased by, like, the local royal guard back to his castle, and they were like, okay, we just need to wait him out. Classic siege, he'll run out of food eventually. And he would taunt them. He would throw food over the walls at them and be like, hey, look at these apples. How do you like them apples? And throw apples at them. He would, like, flash them and just show off how much food he had and could waste it. It turned out the back of the cliff had a secret cave system, and you sneak out to local villages and just kept buying food. So for, like, a year, they're like, surely he'll run out of food eventually. And then what happened was they got so pissed the royal guard made an offer that the servant couldn't refuse, because the servant would come out to relay messages. And they were like, tell us how to get him. Is there any weak points or anything? And the servant was like, well, that spot right there is the bathroom. It's a new addition. It's a weaker material. If you shoot your trebuchet or catapult at it, that would work. And they were like, okay, light a candle when he uses the bathroom next. So the servant waits for the knight to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, lights the candle. They fire a boulder at the bathroom, and he died from falling from the bathroom down to the ground below mid-shit.
Aww. Oh, what a way to go.
What a way to go.
What a way to go.
All the great
damn.
legends go on the toilet, whether it's Elvis or that baller knight going out, just plummeting. You're sitting on the toilet and you plummet.
I love the idea of going from let's wait him out to let's just shoot his ass.
Well, yeah, they eventually realized they were like, because they started thinking he was magic because he just kept spawning food and supplies everywhere that he shouldn't have had. They were like, this needs to be dealt with.
God damn.
They don't say any name here, so I'll just say RU says, list 5 reasons as to why each of you should not be canceled. I'm so how do you, it's like listing reasons that the moon is not cheese. How do you prove the negative?
It would be really funny if one of my 5 reasons got me canceled.
Yeah, I've never heard Kyle say a slur. Is that a reason to not cancel someone? See what I mean? I feel like we're being trapped here. Kyle does a great Obama impression, and so we shouldn't cancel him for that because it's a good impersonation? Oh, jeez.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Michelle. You list a reason now before I just keep digging with the shovel. Why should I or you not be canceled?
I don't hate the French that much.
Because I feel like if you list a reason to not be canceled, it makes what you did performative. Like, I could be like, well, I donated to this campaign? What have I done? When I leave the Walmart and there's people asking for money, I give them all the cash I have, even if it's all the cash I have.
I've never not returned my shopping cart.
What do you think when you see a person not return their shopping cart?
I hope they get stabbed to death.
I saw something the other day, which is, it's weird that people are pro rehabilitation in jail, but when injustice happens outside the jail, it is, let's murder this person. Like, if they make it to the jail, we're like, come on, be nice to him, give him a second chance. But before they get to the jail, we're like, I'll kill him.
If you are robbing food because you can't eat and you go to jail and you learn your lesson, there's hope for you. But if you don't return your shopping cart, there's no hope for you. You failed as a human being, and there's nothing we can do except put you down.
What if they're just like a slow grandma that was just...
Then she's lived long enough.
What if they got the text their wife was in labor and they had to hurry?
Then he
lived long enough.
He lived long
You
enough.
mentioning stealing food reminded me of another streamer story. There's this streamer. Every month there's like one that's popular to hate for pretty valid reasons. There's like that kid that crashed his Lambo and then made his like dying camera guy film it. People are terrible. But there's this one lady who did a lot of terrible things, and it's annoying because then people dog on for invalid reasons and ruin the entire cause, which is people saw her shoplift from a Target. I don't give a fuck if you steal from a Target or a Walmart. I don't care how rich or poor you are. If you steal from a Target or a Walmart, I will help you get away. I don't care. I don't get why people get mad about that. Shut up.
Shoplifting's badass.
Shoplifting's badass. It is one of the like 3 victimless crimes we have left. Okay, you can steal from Walmart. No one is hurt. Just grab it, leave, and just go about your merry day. I stole 500 plus condoms from Walmart. It's the only thing I've ever stolen or shoplifted.
You just open in boxes and shovel them in your pocket?
So
I really hope that you close the box after you take out the condoms and somebody has bought an empty box, gotten home, saw that there's no condoms inside, said, well, we'll probably be fine, and then you inadvertently caused a child to be born.
So it's not that I couldn't afford them, but it was that I was in high school having premarital sex. Good for me, up top. And I grew up in a small town, and in the Midwest, sex is bad. And 80% of the people I would see at Walmart were friends, family, teachers. 90% of the cashiers were people that my mom knew, family, friends, coworkers. So I was like, there's no way I can, and again, it's weird that this is a problem, but I can't grab condoms, go up to somebody like that and be like, hey, I'd like to buy these, and it not get back to my parents or grandmother. So I would go to the condoms, I would grab the pack, I would walk back to the bathroom, shove it in my hoodie pocket, I would throw the box away because that has the barcode. The barcode's not on the condoms, which is what makes the alarm go off. And then I would just shove the condoms in my pocket and I'd leave. But there was one day I got back to the bathroom and I had accidentally grabbed the 200 pack instead of like the 40 pack. And I had them like in my shoes, in my pockets, in like my armpits here. And I was like crinkling out of the Walmart very slowly. But luckily, I didn't have to buy. I don't know why I insisted. I was like, I can't waste these. I was like, if I get away with this, I don't have to do this for like another like 2 weeks. And so I'm just crinkling out of the Walmart. Luckily now I'm an adult married man, so I don't have to do that anymore. But yeah, no, I spent most of high school robbing Walmart of all of their condoms.
I used to steal my friends' toys when I was a kid.
Oh. I would steal school playground equipment, but that was because we lived near the school playgrounds, and...
You really wanted that slide.
No, not like... I wasn't stealing industrial equipment as a child. No, we lived near the school playground park, and if it was after school hours, you could still come play at the playground like it was a park. And I didn't own a basketball or kickball, but I always wanted to play basketball or kickball with my brothers after school. So the teachers would get out the kickballs and basketballs during school. I would go, oh no, the ball went behind that hedge. And then I would just store it for later. And then after school, I would go retrieve it. So I would hide things around the school playground and then retrieve them afterwards.
Pretty smart.
Pretty smart. So that's a reason I shouldn't be canceled, I think. I think shoplifting's badass. And yeah, I should not be canceled because of that. Okay.
We just admitted to crimes.
Yeah.
In the why we should not be canceled.
You don't cancel people for cool crime. Like it's like in Sweden they've got it right where it's not a crime to run away from the police or escape jail, which is awesome. It's only a crime like if you break or vandalize things to escape jail or evade the police. But like as long as you don't hurt anybody, they're like, yeah, of course a human doesn't want to be in jail and will escape. That makes sense. I wish we had that in America because I would love to be like, I'm getting a speeding ticket. I'd like to now run from the police and have fun with that real quick. I think that's why we love to watch cop chases. Not because we're supporting the criminal usually, but just you're like, I know what I would have done. Baziger thinks we're older than we are, or at least me. Because they say, talk about your experience with Y2K. I was 2, so goo goo gaga.
That hurts me. That hurts me more than it probably hurts him.
Do you remember Y2K?
Yeah, Y2K ruled.
Oh, what was it like when you were in your 30s?
I don't remember a lot of the panic because I don't think we had a lot of tech. It was a lot of people with computers or businesses worrying about it. It was just like the era was cool. Everybody was dressed cool. The music was cool. You had Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys. Everybody had bleached tips and jeans, and everything was cool. And Neopets was a website, and SpongeBob was in its like second season. Life was good.
No, yeah, late 90s, early 2000s. Outside of 9/11, pretty badass. 95 to 2005 was a really good time. Whether it was for music or media or fashion. I stand behind the fashion of the time. I think we could go back.
Perhaps one of the last goodest times before the internet started getting, monetized and shitty and ruined. And
I would also say 2010 to 2015 was another just very brief, very nice time. They also say, or the end of the world in 2012. I remember I was on a trip with my grandparents. And yeah, it was supposed to end, I think, May 5th, 2012. My birthday's May 3rd. So they were taking me on a trip somewhere. And I was just watching the clock. So I was like, I don't believe the world's going to end that day. But it's one of those things where, especially as a kid, I still had the clock. And I was like, okay, at noon today, please.
You feel the rumbling, and you're just like,
yeah, like the card hits a bump, and you go, shit. But yeah, I remember right as the clock struck, I look out the window like it was the Incredible Hulk, just waiting to see a nuke go off or something, just waiting for like the whoosh. And I'm just like, my grandma's like, what are you looking at, Trey? I'm like, nothing. I don't want to worry you in your final moments. This is my cross to bear. And I remember the whole trip, I just stared out the window. I was like, don't do it. I'm going to Chuck E. Cheese today. Please don't do it today. Please don't do it today. I'm going to Chuck E. Cheese. But yeah, that was it. I remember, no, people were really worried about 2012, especially if they were religious. That was the first like big Mayan, modern scare. Now people are over it. But people at my church were like getting real right with God real fast. They were making plans for the day. It was a weird energy.
I just remember that being my graduating year. So we had the running joke that we were going to be the last graduating class ever. We're like, yeah, we did it. We completed high school. World's going to end. We were the last ones.
God, imagine you're 90% sure the world's going to end and you're still like in chemistry class playing with a pet lizard. But that is it for the emails this week. Let me double check the comments this week on the previous episodes, and we will get out of here. Taylor, who has helped me move more times than I can count, and I mentioned him, said, Trey convinced me Long John Silver's would be worth it. It, in fact, was not, and I refuse to acknowledge that it's a real restaurant. I said that I take everyone that helps me move to Long John Silver's, and I remember him being very upset about it.
I told people at work that, and they were disgusted.
It was just something we look forward to. I don't know. At Men Are Canceled said, are these men canceled? Are we canceled?
I think now we've established we are.
We are, yeah. Somebody just said...
Which one of us do you think is getting canceled first?
Oh, God.
And then the other just has to, either, take a break from the pod or, keep going and back the other person up at their own expense.
I think it has to be you. And I don't think it's because you're the more likely to be canceled. I think you have an increased ability to be canceled, because canceled is an interesting term that we throw around in modern culture. It's like when Keemstar's like, I said this slur and people got mad at me, I'm canceled. It's like, okay, shut up, I guess. But it's like I don't think I would ever say anything that would make Tide stop running YouTube ads. Or but I could see you saying something accidentally regrettable, and you're so nice and a good person that you would give in to the audience. I'm kind of an asshole, and I'd be like, that's not what I meant. Fuck off. I'm here this week. You would be like, all right, guys, I'm going to go be a Buddhist monk for a couple weeks. I'll be back. What is...
I just got a notification on my computer because I'm recording that said, would you like to free up some space?
Oh my God.
And I checked my PC and I have 730 megabytes left on my C drive.
Okay, we need to wrap up this recording before it crashes then, because it's going to just automatically stop. Okay, everybody, this has been the What Are My Options podcast this week. We tried to get 2 hours out again, but we could not get 2 hours. Kyle is going to get an external hard drive to start storing his stuff for safety later. He's going to remember to record. Kyle, do you have anything to say to the audience?
Delete stuff on your computer.
I'll say you record at 8 megabytes per second, so that means we have about, I think, 1 full minute left until your PC is out of storage and just stops the recording automatically. So make sure to rate us 5 stars. We have, I think, 20 followers on Spotify, but only 10 people have rated us 5 stars on Spotify. So please go to the Spotify, follow us, and please rate us 5 stars. That helps out the podcast. Comment on Spotify, comment on the YouTube, leave a like on this video, send something to the PO box, send us to the email at wamopod@gmail.com. Anything else, Kyle?
No.
Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. I'm gonna go Hulk out.